U.S.-China trade war. Why every Chinese phone maker should prepare for the worst, coming via Android Authority. This is further along what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Why and where does this end? For real. Right? If the thinking is, because as far as the granular detail is concerned, leaky data. Data leaving the country. Not good. Right? If everybody buys into the pitch, leaky data, no good. Not anything other than domestic data, not good. Let's say everybody buys into it in the United States, huge market. Why is one Chinese phone brand immune and another one is not?
Right.
Why? Now, I understand in a Huawei case, they were mostly focusing on the 5G networks. That's where it started. Well, you telling me you boot up some other Chinese branded phone, or any phone for that matter, you know how you get data flying left and right? You're telling me if it's Oppo, if it's Xiaomi, if it's what? There's pre-installed apps.
Yep.
Maybe OnePlus to a lesser extent, but then we saw the Facebook thing on the recent post. I mean, these people have to service these devices. There's some sort of a tie-in. There has to be some kind of a tie-in with the place of origin in which the company you're doing business with is located.
Yeah, it just seems like right now Huawei is the biggest, so obviously we got to take down the giant first.
Well, here's the one that a lot of people forget: ZTE.
Yeah,
ZTE got huge, but they got wiped out in the U.S.
Yeah,
they were part of that. They had the big sponsorship, weren't they? They had Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, and they got wiped out maybe even earlier than Huawei. Then Huawei came next, and sure enough, whatever, internally they run their investigations, they uncover certain information or details that allows them to make the moves they make, or encourages them to make the moves they make. But I'm saying with this amplified scrutiny, it makes you ask some questions. It makes you really wonder about where the line is drawn. And just to be clear, this includes many of your favorite, this is all your favorite brands. Well, there's a lot of them in there. OnePlus, TCL, Oppo, Xiaomi, Vivo. There's just, it's a tremendous number of brands. And here's the thing, Will. Because all these brands are so reliant on Google, Google is as far as you'd have to go. All you'd have to do is, just like in Huawei's case, they just said, hey, Google, we don't think you should do business with them. That's enough to put a massive dent. Now, Huawei's domestic business in China is just fine. Those other companies actually are struggling in China a little bit compared to Huawei. But the Google piece really puts in question the global appeal and the potential for any sales outside of China. Again, Android's pretty open-ended. You can find ways around it. You can get your side load on. But it's just not something that the average customer wants to do. It's not the sort of loops they want to jump through. So if Google tightened their restrictions, if Google decided to get on the side of some of these potential planned actions, or gets forced into it, and again, it's up for grabs what the actual amount of authority that exists there for them to do something like this. But if Google bounces in any way, you can kiss it all goodbye. And I'll tell you what, Will, Google sells phones themselves, don't they?
Yeah, hardware and software.
They sell a couple phones as well themselves. Now, I'm not saying they want to let it all go, but Google sells a few phones. Samsung sells a few phones. Where's Samsung based? Samsung closed up all their factories in China. Where's Samsung based? Oh, I don't know. Korea, India, Vietnam, everywhere but China. Everywhere but. So it's not like the options for Android users completely evaporate. Look, competition has pushed things big time, right? These players that I just mentioned, these brands that I just mentioned, there's a high likelihood that what they brought to the table put a better product in your pocket, even if you didn't buy one of their products.
Yes.
Or it saved you a few bucks because people were forced to compete with it. We got a $350 Pixel. Would that have happened without these brands I just mentioned?
Right. It's competition. Competition is good.
Will he do?
There you go.
It's Willie Do. So we'll see what happens with that one as well. But yeah, man, I don't know how I feel if I'm a Chinese phone manufacturer who depends on Western markets and India. I got to be a bit nervous at this moment. And that's just being real. I got to be thinking about, damn, all this stuff coming down the pipeline. It's not looking great. I'm not saying there's any reason. Well, just to be clear, full disclaimer, I'm not saying there's anything shady over there. I don't have this investigation in front of me. What I'm saying is the speculation alone is enough to start to cause problems.